Hi artists, today I'm going to show you how to use something you probably have around your house in order to make a unique sculpture. What you'll need is any sort of paper towel roll or toilet paper roll, a scissors, glue. I like using the liquid glue, but if you have a glue stick, that works too. And then if you want to have some sort of base for your artwork, you can have either a piece of cardboard or a cereal box that you used or something like that. You can glue down your project. We are going to be making a relief sculpture. So it's a sculpture that actually is attached to some sort of base, but it pops off of the base. So let's get started. What you'll need to do first is take your paper roll and cut it into strips. I am going to flatten it a little bit, kind of like a leaf shape, or squish it down more. And I like to mark lines that are about an even space apart to cut along. It is a little bit tricky, so if you need an adult to help you, you can ask for some help cutting these into strips. After you have your pieces cut into strips, then you can reshape them if you want to, and you can start arranging them down on your base piece. I am pinching the corners on some of them because I like that kind of leaf or petal shape. I have my first ring around this center point right here, and you can see that I have a petal that goes around the center, and that is called radial symmetry. If you have a center point with something that repeats all the way around, so I encourage you to come up with a design that shows radial symmetry, where it has the same shape around and it creates a circle pattern. Now that I have my first center ring done, I am going to start gluing them together. One thing you can do is take a scrap piece of paper or cardboard and you can squeeze a good amount of glue onto that. And then you can dip the one end of your paper, just a few different sections in that, and then you can set it down, and that way it dries to the base. You can also put a little bit of glue on the edges so that your paper towels or toilet paper tubes stick to each other, and then you can just dip a little bit in the piece like that too. Once you get them set down, just be patient and let them have some time to grab on to the cardboard and to each other. I'm going to pinch these together and then just let them stay where I put them. You can experiment with arranging more of these shapes. I could have more circles that I could add down by squishing it this way to add variety to the shapes. Or what you can do is cut your tube and you can use the length of the tube and glue it down into sections as well. You can even do something called paper quilling, which is where you curl the paper. So one example is I could flatten this, make it a V shape, and then I can take a pencil or my finger and I can wrap it around. So I have another unique shape I can use as I experiment with curling the paper and cutting it into sections. I'm going to experiment with my design and see what creative concepts I can come up with. Here's what I have for my paper tube relief sculpture. You can see that since it's a relief sculpture, it's on the flat surface, but it still interacts with the light. You can see the light shining on it. And I decided to experiment with cutting some of the paper tubes into little strips and gluing them into the center of my flower so it sticks up even more. You can experiment with different techniques with how you cut the paper and curl the paper and test out what you can come up with.